The next team is DPUG 0009. Their theme is innovative idea for social distancing. Harsh and
Hi, should I
Aditya.
start sharing my screen now?
Yes, yes.
Okay, great.
Please don't start off with a presentation. Just share your presentation.
For
Sean.
sure. Thank you. Is my screen visible? Can you see the first slide?
Yes, yes, Shiva.
Perfect. Thank you, Aditya.
Attention all evaluators. The next team is ready for presentation. We request all the judges to complete the scoring. Harsh, you can now start off.
Okay, thank you so much. I'll start. So, a very good afternoon to one and all present here. Our project title is COVID-19 Supplies, which is a real-time supply monitoring tool. My name is Harsh Sanjay Agrawal, and I'm the backend developer of our team. My other member is Aditya Biralsar, who is a front-end programmer. While browsing the web, I came across this post on the subreddit r/Mumbai, where someone was desperately asking for beds in private hospitals. They claimed to have asked dozens of hospitals without much result. A passionate user shared an NGO website that showed some non-COVID beds and hospitals sharing their information through news platforms, but he said there was no actual dashboard. This struck me, as a close friend of mine caught typhoid during quarantine, but didn't get admitted to the hospital due to fear of the COVID virus and misinformation. Hence, the problem statement was born. Medicines, beds, ventilators, everything is available, but unfortunately, what is lacking is the information on where exactly they are available. There is no precise monitoring platform or any structured way of supplying equipment related to COVID 19. I'm lucky enough to have a friend whose father is a WHO accredited doctor. After talking to him, we found out that this is a major problem faced by all medical professionals and the common man alike. It is the inaccessibility of medical supplies due to inefficiency of data management, and our main focus while developing the system has been towards getting information out to the public. Diving deeper, we found four main roots of the problem tree. First is supplies not being available at the places where we need it, rather getting wasted at locations of lesser need. Second, people are hoarding supplies to create a fake demand to be able to sell at higher prices. Third, as we all know, COVID is extremely infectious. And the last problem was trust and transparency. So here is a solution we proposed. A web application which monitors supplies and creates a common database for every medical need. This will be accessed by patients looking for supplies as well as hospitals which are going short on supplies. Filtering to get only the required supply and sorting by the nearest medical store or hospital. Our project has two main modules. First is the Python user interface for the medical store and hospitals, and the other is a web front end for the users and patients. Suppliers will be given codes which they can use to upload their database to the web servers. They can enter their data directly into the database from an Excel sheet. Every store I visited uses a very basic software which has its backend database in the form of SQL, JSON, or direct Excel sheets. Converting any of which into an Excel sheet is an effortless task. The second module is the web server, which caters solely to the patients and the users. This can be accessed on all internet-enabled devices, and the user gets accurate data of location and availability of supplies instantly. The web server has been made as lightweight as possible, where all the computing power goes to the database. Since the server is a PostgreSQL database, it has rapid response times even through extremely heavy data. The architecture that our project follows is a chain. At the two ends of the chain, we see our retailers, medical stores, and hospitals, and the other side are customers, namely user or the patient. The Excel database of the stores is directly uploaded to the supplier interface, which sends and refreshes data in real time to the server. Now, this server acts as a hub for the web frontend, querying data according to the needs of the user. The server is deployed on the Heroku platform for ease of deployment and constant updates. Value proposition. Our main motive was to decrease the time of exposure. Since COVID spreads from people's exposure to each other, this will decrease the risk by a great extent. It allows for efficient and transparent inventory management since stores have to make their production database public. It ensures that there will be no hoarding and no price surges due to made up inavailability. This project can be easily extended to all kinds of supplies, but focusing on the COVID-19 pandemic, the system filters the data to just the supplies needed to fight the pandemic and keeps track in real time, ensuring that supplies reach the places of need where they might be running low. On the user and the retail side, the only thing that is required is a stable internet connection and any internet-enabled device. The packages we use for this are a Django web backend, which is written in Python, so it is easy to extend and scale. It supports the MVC programming paradigm and provides robust security features, which is essential for any server. The SQL database is the simplest database query system that gives us maximum efficiency and response time. The application is deployed on Heroku to make frequent updates and expansion of servers possible at any point in time. The HTML CSS for web frontend ensures a simple interface that gives us ease of access and proven rapid loading speeds. Our aim has always been to ensure maximum efficiency. Python Tkinter user interface. Since the data is not directly entered into the server, the risk of security breaches is very less. The encryption keys, which are the user ID and the password given to the stores, are never uploaded to the server. Once connection changes, once the database is connected to the server, automatic updates are sent to the server without any human interface. At the current stage of development, we have built the store interface and the web application from scratch, which are interacting with each other and are ready for deployment. To ensure maximum security, we are working on creating a blockchain of ledgers, mandatory, so even the transactions that are carried out can be made transparent and no other transaction can be denied or faked. As soon as this is done, we will be deploying this project for public use. Here's a very quick demonstration of the current state of our progress. Here we see a simple Excel sheet for the RR medical stores that will be uploaded with item name and quantity. Please note that these items are COVID related and nothing else. Now running the Python interface, we will need credentials without which our login does not work. Please note that this will be a one-time thing and the store does not need to log in a second time. Once logged in, we browse to the sheet and directly upload it to a server. As we can see, all the items along with their quantity are uploaded. And they're also being refreshed in real time. Now for the web interface, this does not ask for any login, but two very basic things, which are location and requirement. Once we fill these two details, it lists out medical stores and quantity available in increasing order of distance from the user. We can also directly see the database and to find a preferred store. Here's our very own medical store, which is RR Medical. And the ventilator quantity has been set to 20. So I'll quickly update it to 10 in my Google Sheet, in case 10 of my ventilators are used in a single day. So those are no longer vacant. Refreshing my server instantly updates it to 10. We have made all the code that we wrote for this project open source on GitHub, where we push the updates directly. Thank you for listening. Here is the GitHub link for the project repository, and we are now open to questions.
Ravichandran here.
Hello, sir.
Aditya and Harsh.
Yes,
Very good graphics, and I like the concept to the demonstration page. Seamlessly presented. I mean,
Yes, sir.
about
Thank you
this
so much.
possibility, what's possible online, and that's a good thing. And you have put this for the medical centers or something like that. But if you look at, there are in medical industry itself, diagnostics,
Yes, sir.
medical treatment, and post-medical treatment availability of what you call this connecting to the stores. And all.
Everything, sir.
So I
We've
think,
included the
yeah.
availability of beds as well.
Yeah, it has an immense potential to connect all such things in future. In fact, already the diagnostic things is going to happen like this.
Yes.
And the critical question also you addressed very nicely, the data protection. That is when it is a my personal diagnosis, then the data is very, very, I don't want it to fall in anybody else and except doctor. So you have also told that the data protection is very good about this. So this also extends to medical treatment itself, diagnosis, treatment, and post-medical purchase also for anything, not only for this COVID thing. Am I right with that? Is it application can be expansive?
Okay, so currently we focused it only on COVID-19 supplies, but we can actually extend it to anything available. We can even upload supermarket databases so that we can check if the thing I want is available rather than going them or constantly calling them.
Yes, that's what I wanted to indicate to that. The potential of what you presented is very expansive. In fact, all the medical scenario can operate on online like this. In future, we'll be talking to the doctors and the diagnosis can be taken, reports can come online, which can be presented to the doctors. Then again, it can go to the medical store. I can get back over that. Highly professionalized presentation from my side.
Also, sir.
Yeah.
Also, sir, to add to that, while I'm sitting at home, I can see which medical store has my utilities available. So as I go down to the streets, I can directly go to that medical and get my supplies and then directly come to my home rather than wandering medical to medical, asking whether my utilities are available with me.
Agree with you, because you have a very close access to medical field, I believe. You have, that also prevents the hoarding of the medical. Nobody can dictate. Nobody can hoard some item and tell you it's not available or asking more price. So that's also very beautifully addressed. This is how in China also. China also already is in the process. All things are done like this only in China. Without doctor's prescription logged in there, it cannot be even dispersed also. I think we are also catching up with this. We will have this with all diagnoses, medical treatment, post-medical purchasing, and also we are well connected as a patient, I can call it. I mean, for wellness also, not only this. We are well connected to get the medical center and we can get this very beautifully presented. Graphics also, in the concept also, demonstrating it also. I think I must have a very, very less questions of a doubt if I look at from this point of presentation. That's why I asked the question on expansive. Very huge and immense potential you have if you apply this to any across the medical field. Thank you. Congratulations.
Thank you. Yeah, thank you.
Hello. Hello.
Good afternoon.
I just have one question. What will be the showstopper for your project?
Showstopper in what sense, ma'am?
I mean, that is the we can say the dependency without which we can say that your project will not run. So, what is that showstopper?
Okay, so what our dependencies are here is practically just the development of the project took us time. It took a team of us around 7 to 8 days to develop this, and deployment is extremely easy. I had deployed this temporarily to try and cope with the medical store that is under my building. His name is Omkar Medical. That was live for a few days, and the guy told me that he was receiving, rather than receiving calls, people were just checking online and coming. So I like that, but the thing is, I did not have data of all medical stores at that point, so I decided to take it down rather than that. Comparing to some of the services that are already out there, most like pharmacy, let's take, they rely on logistics. They have profit as their main objective. There's no transparency provided to the seller as well as the customer. In my place, it took me 14 days to get a simple medicine delivered during lockdown because logistics were blocked down, right? Which at certain points that could mean life or death under extreme circumstances. At the end, my medicines came from a store in Thane, which I could have easily bought for myself with an hour-long car drive and a simple permission. But the condition is I need to know where exactly my supply is available. And so we did exactly that. We made the information out to the public. And if we consider internet availability in 2016, let's say in 2016 there were 295 PC users, PC internet users. Okay, in 2017, 18, Geo started booming, and the total number of people who have access to the internet in today's world is over a billion. Not even the world, even in India, it's over a billion. So I'd say directly or indirectly, pretty much everyone has access to the internet. So I don't think dependencies would matter. And about the running cost, currently the running cost is zero. Even deploying would be free because applications like Heroku allow us to deploy it for free. But in case we need to expand it to consider, like, let's say the whole of India's data, in that case, we might have to spend a minimal amount just for the database and let's say the front end to make it a little more nice.
Okay. I must appreciate your problem identification and the problem analysis also. You have gone through that complete problem and analyzed also.
Yes.
Thank you.
Thank you so much. We appreciate the compliment.
Thank you, judges. You may now proceed for scoring.
Thank you.
The team can stop presenting now.
Thank you.
I now request Dr. Sandeep Joshi to announce the names of the first prize winners of Ideathon 2020 in diploma and undergraduate category.
Yes, Ruchira madam. The winners of diploma and undergraduate category is group code TPUG 00. Group code is DPUG 0009. The theme was innovative idea for social distancing. The team is from SIS Graduate School of Technology, and the names of the team members Harsh Agrawal and Aditya Birazdar. Congratulations, both of you. Congratulations, Harsh and Aditya. Yes, you can put forward your.
Okay, thank you so much. A very good evening to all the jury, teaching and managing staff of PC Ideathon and every participant who was present here. Our idea started off with a motivation to solve a major problem that we found online and with a very few skills that we had. As we built it over the months of the lockdown, we solved a lot of unexpected problems and got a completely new insight into production and development. The main thing that we've learned from this whole experience is that you don't need to be a good coder or a professional with technical skills to be able to solve real life problems. All you need is a good mindset and the drive to spot problems in the world. I would like to thank my teammate Aditya Birazdar for believing in this idea and joining me on this ride. I extend my most sincere gratitude to our professor Biju Balakrishnan, our branch counselor, for being a very strong backend and a motivating factor for us throughout this journey. My team IEEE SIS GST for giving me a role where I could explore my skills and amazing teammates from the most versatile skill set I've ever seen. Lastly, my greatest appreciation goes to team of PC Ideathon 2020 for giving us this platform to present our ideas and get honest opinions from technical and educational pioneers of the field. Thank you so much.
Over to Aditya. Please unmute yourself, Aditya.
Am I audible, sir?
Yeah, you are audible.
A very good afternoon to all. My name is Aditya Birazdar and I am from SIS Graduate School of Technology. I have been practicing graphics and front-end coding for a very long time. It has been an amazing experience facing the challenges completely out of my domain and getting to connect with people at production level. Even though I am traditionally from printing and packaging engineering branch, IEEE SIS GST welcomed me with an open arms and allowed me to interact with all fields of work and meet some amazing people in the process. For this, I would like to sincerely thank my mentor and my guide, Professor Biju Balakrishnan, our branch counselor, and the whole team for believing in me and backing up with me everything. Congratulations to all the participants. It takes a lot of heart to step up and talk about your own ideas and have a strong belief in them. No matter if we win or lose, we will keep our heads held high. We also thank team of PCE for organizing this amazing contest and hope to see you all very soon. Thank you.
Yes, over to Ruchira madam.
Thank you, sir. Congratulations to all the participants and to all the winners.